volleyball fans, and welcome to wherever you are. I'm Matty Bishop. This is STSPN.com, and we are at Lake Stevens High School, where the Lake Stevens Vikings are taking on the visiting Jackson Timberwolves in the penultimate round of Wesco 4A League play. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We should have a pretty solid matchup here tonight. It's senior night in Lake Stevens, so they just honored the senior class that they're graduating this year. Some notable names: their setter, Karina Dahlquist, will be graduating this year. Kendall Solis, who's played a lot of DS for them, also some outside hitter. Their captain, right side Haley Muir. Their libero, who had a fantastic match in Monroe last week, Brooke Valentine, Brooke, and Grace Schradel. Other outside hitter is a senior as well. So this is the senior and sophomore team. Basically, the rest of your lineup you're going to see, with the exception of junior right side Chloe Cornelius, all sophomores here tonight for Lake Stevens. But it's going to be the senior leadership that wants to finish strong on their home court. Jackson has a lot of motivation in the standings. They are currently tied for second place with Monroe. Can look to move into or maintain at least a tie for second place in Wesco 4A with a win here tonight, and we're underway. Here's Lexi Dollarhide for the Jackson Timberwolves. A little roll shot from the right side. She drops that down in front of Valentine and Solis. Lydia Robinson is your setter and server right now for the visiting Timberwolves. Haley Pistol is your libero. Erin Ingram, their 6'1" sophomore outside. Ava Doney in the middle. She's a senior. Out of the back row, that's Paige Wilson taking a swing right there. She's the junior kill leader for Jackson. There's a big block from Ingram and Doney. We already mentioned Lexi Dollarhide. She's hitting at the right pin for you. Taking a look on Lake Stevens' side, it is senior Grace Schradel playing at the outside hitter spot. She's in the back row currently. Haley Muir is your captain and your right side. Sophomore Maddie Eisminger is your starting middle tonight. Karina Dahlquist, already mentioned, as your setter. Brooke Valentine is your libero. Sometimes the emotion of senior night can lead to not only the emotion but the disruption of rhythm before a match. The warm-up gets really funky with a long break where everyone gets super emotional, and then we go through and we play some volleyball, and there's senior Grace Schradel with the first kill of the night for the Vikings. Questionable. I thought her foot might have been on the 10-foot line as she attacked out of the back row there, but the head official all over it said that is a legal back row attack. Here's Kendall Solis at the service line for Lake Stevens, working on Ingram. Back set from Robinson. Ingram cross court right at the setter Dahlquist. Valentine, now Schradel. Schradel's dug by Wilson. Robinson runs that down. Ingram with the big swing. What a play by Wilson to get under it. Robinson sends it back to Valentine. Now quick to the outside. Schradel right down the line at the head of the setter Robinson. And Grace Schradel with 2 kills early here tonight for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Solis continues to serve. Wilson.
Nice, girls. That worked.
Robinson. Ingram, just long, no touch detected. The Jackson bench pointing to the line judge who called a touch. And that's going to be a point for the Jackson Timberwolves. Mindy Staudinger had a bit of an adventure with the line judges on Tuesday night in their match against, oh gosh, we had Jackson Kamiak on Tuesday. Getting my Wayback Machine there. Not wanting to start tonight off the same way, but the line judge was all over it. Had the call right away. Up official looks. Rachel Erb serves. Here's Maddie Solis pounding that off the block of Ava Doney. From way outside the court, Lexi Dollarhide can't bring that one back. So that ball, big swing on a nice high point of contact from Maddie Eisminger. Pounds it off the shoulder, I believe, of Doney, and it pops up funky. Jackson can't handle. Eisminger to serve. Haley Pistol struggles with this one. Robinson gets under it. Pistol sends a free ball. It's the middle Eisminger. Dahlquist, back set. Haley Muir, that's got to be a lift. No call. As that ball stuck all over the place. She had a good 3/4 of a second of contact with that. Carly Try doesn't care. The sophomore middle, 6-footer for Lake Stevens. Hammers that one over the block of Ava Doney. I think Jackson was just as surprised as anyone else that they didn't get a whistle there. Haley Pistol, perfect pass from her for Robinson. The set's a little bit behind Doney. I thought I saw 4 contacts there, but they're going to say there was a touch on the block. Schradel down the line at Robinson again, and she doesn't have an answer for that. Lexi Dollarhide is going to have to go up and get a little bigger on the block and protect her setter, as she has to take away that hard-driven ball down the line from Grace Schradel. The sophomore, Eisminger, continues to serve. Pistol, run down by Robinson. Wilson sends a down ball, dealt with by the setter Dahlquist. Out of system set from Eisminger for Schradel again. This one's just long. Maddie Eisminger can do a little bit of everything back there. She's been a middle for her first 2 years here at Lake Stevens, but she is a good all-around volleyball player. Had the privilege of working with her on a beach a little bit. Talented kid. Here's Ava Doney, another kiddo that we've worked with on the beach. Uprising volleyball. Haley Muir, nice job putting that one over. Rachel Erb with a great pickup. Paige Wilson. Dig by Schradel. Nice run down by Dahlquist. Good job by her staying out of the net. Valentine sends the down ball right at Erb. Here's Wilson. Cross court and out of play. Haley Muir, the captain. We learned during the senior night presentation, transferred from Mariner High School. There's Wilson with the overfeed. Great play by Lexi Dollarhide to get under that one. Muir with the dig, and that's 4 contacts on Lake Stevens. Lexi Dollarhide with a great hustle play for Jackson there. She'll go back to the service line now. She's a junior, listed as an outside hitter. She's played quite a bit of right side here in these last 2 matches that we've seen. Haley Pistol, Rachel Erb make up the rest of your back row. The setter Robinson in the front row for Jackson, along with Paige Wilson and Ainsley Johansson. That is Carly Try with the big swing in the gap, going right through the block. Of course, being in Lake Stevens, want to give a huge shout out for all their support to Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens and also on Evergreen Way, helping to make these matches happen. There's a big dig there from Kendall Solis. She chops it back over the top, and Pistol can't get under it. So Paige Wilson gave Kendall Solis her best shot. Solis dug it up and then went back and killed it with the off-speed ball. So we're not seeing a substitution at that spot right now that we've been used to seeing. Usually it's Samaya Marin who comes in, but we're going to let the seniors play for a little while tonight on senior night. Mentioned a little bit Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. They do a huge amount to support these broadcasts here on STSPN.com. Make sure that next time you need some home improvement materials, you get in there and you help them out a little at the cash register. Talk to them a bit about how much you appreciate this. There's Solis again, off the block, picked up by Schradel. Back set now, Muir out of the back row. That's off the block of Johansson. Oh, and so now he's going to call 4 contacts, and that one I thought was much more clearly off the block than the last one that didn't get called, but took a while to get the whistle into the mouth apparently, and that's what we get. Here's Paige Wilson to the back row. She's going to see what she can do from the service line now. She goes for a service ace. Nice float serve right in front of Grace Schradel. Schradel hasn't played a lot of back row in the matches that I've seen this year. It's been she's been checking out. Kendall Solis has been coming in to play the back row outside hitter spot. So maybe Schradel's a little rusty in serve receive. Paige Wilson checking out. Nice dig by Wilson. Ainsley Johansson picked up by Schradel. Johansson again picked up by Muir. Outside Dahlquist for Solis, and there's the block of Johansson. As we're waiting, no indication from the up ref, as the down ref was waving that she didn't see a touch. The up ref never really made a call on that one. There's a service ace from Paige Wilson. Right at Schradel again. That time it's a good pass for Dahlquist. Roll shot by Solis, picked up by Ingram. Quick in the middle for Johansson. That one doesn't get over, and the ref's all over it. 4 contacts against the Jackson Timberwolves. Brooke Valentine, senior libero for Lake Stevens at the service line. Wilson, bump set from Robinson. Ingram chops that one into the block. It's recycled, kept alive. Free ball sent to Muir. Dahlquist, here's Maddie Eisminger, hammers that through the block of Ainsley Johansson and Aaron Ingram, and that's a big swing early on here from the sophomore Eisminger. Valentine with the dreaded dribbler. That ball comes off the tape, and it's about 50-50. Half those are going to drop on your side and be a point for the other team. Half those are going to drop on the other side and be a point for your team. Down the line, they're working on Paige Wilson very specifically here tonight. Aaron Ingram roll shot over the top. Nice pickup by the senior Muir. Here's Solis again. This is dug by Pistol. Robinson barely gets under it. Down ball sent by Wilson, out of play, and Lake Stevens rolling. Paige Wilson struggling to find any sort of rhythm at all, and that's a very common strategy for a volleyball team. You know the other team's offense runs through a specific player. You make them pass a lot. They can take a player's head out of the game really quickly. Haley Pistol out of system set there. Miss hit by Aaron Ingram, and Lake Stevens is on the roll. Jackson's taking a timeout here, and he's taking a timeout as well on STSPN.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need. Fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Everett Greenway in Everett. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Welcome back inside Lake Stevens High School. The Vikings are rolling here early on senior night. It's Brooke Valentine, their senior libero at the service line. Jackson a little out of sorts with their serve receive right now, so it's Lydia Robinson, the setters in the front row with Aaron Ingram and Ainsley Johansson. This serve right down the middle for Lexi Dollarhide. Here's Johansson with the slide footwork. What a pickup by Valentine. Kendall Solis rolls up the line, picked up by Dollarhide. Robinson picks up using his signals. Dollarhide pops this one up. Robinson runs it down. Haley Pistol fires that down the line. Karina Dahlquist goes up for the dump, and it's dug by Robinson, but out of play, and Dahlquist is going to get a credit for a kill on senior night. Finally, Jackson gets a bit of a respite as Brooke Valentine a little too aggressive on that one. She sails it out. Haley Pistol, your libero, senior for Jackson Timberwolves. She'll be back to serve. That brings the senior middle Ava Doney back into the front row, along with Ingram and Robinson. Valentine passes 10 feet off. Good set for Solis. That comes back off the block, picked up by Muir. Out of system set from Doney. Down ball from Pistol, picked up by Schradel. Here comes Solis again. That ball's right at Paige Wilson. She can't handle it, and it's another kill for the senior Solis. So that connection of Karina Dahlquist and Kendall Solis, but those two have been playing beach together since I believe their U12 season. They've been to Seaside multiple times together. They know each other pretty well. Nothing new here. There's Dahlquist with the service ace right into the seam. Substitution looks like it's going to be Isha Mahal who comes in. Junior defensive specialist coming in to try and get a little spark in the passing game for Jackson here as they've been struggling a little bit tonight. Dollarhide, Ingram. Yeah, could have been called on a ball handling violation there, but wasn't. Oh, there's Haley Muir. Well, I think Karina Dahlquist is only setting seniors right now. I say that jokingly. She set Maddie Eisminger just a minute ago, but that one, Eisminger came in full bore for the front one, and Dahlquist just flicked it back to Haley Muir right behind her. Beautiful play from Lake Stevens. Here's Ingram trying to tip over the block. She gets a kill. Jackson down, but certainly not out here in set number one, but they certainly have quite a bit of work to do. They had some success against this serve-receive rotation one. Haley Muir, roll shot over the top, picked up by Pistol. Here's Ingram from the outside. Just a little bit too much. If she wants a touch call. She hit that 4 feet over everybody. Just clearly mishit it and then turned around and asked for the touch. I was probably that outside hitter when I was younger. Solis hammers that one right at Mahal. Free ball sent by Ingram. Dahlquist. Eisminger chops it off the block. Nice up by Pistol. It's going to be Ingram just rolling. Oh, that one's sent right back by Maddie Eisminger. Ingram again. This time she swings. That's dug by Solis. Outside Grace Schradel. Picked up by Pistol. Run down by Robinson. Ingram flop over the top. Here's Valentine. That's really tight. Little fist set from Dahlquist. And going for the corner with Schradel. Haley Pistol all over that one right to the last moment. That's how you defend a ball that's going to be just barely out. You get to the line and make your decision there. Rachel Erb back to serve for Jackson. She checks in for Esha Mahal, and we'll get the... Sorry, it's Paige Wilson who checks back in for Esha Mahal. Big side out from Lake Stevens. Like what they're doing. It's fast-paced and kind of fun on the offensive side. Lots of twists in there. Well, there's the one that bounces and comes back on your side. So we're 50-50 on the tricklers tonight for Lake Stevens. Ava Doney to the service line for Jackson. Ainsley Johansson checks in. There's Haley Muir. And that one's off the block of Johansson and Wilson, and a kill for the senior Haley Muir. And the seniors having themselves some fun here on senior night in Lake Stevens. Muir back to the service line. Roll shot by Dollarhide, picked up by Solis, overfeed and put down by Wilson and Johansson. So rare mistake out of the Lake Stevens seniors there, as the roll shot was just overfed a little bit. Lexi Dollarhide back to serve for Jackson. Valentine, Dahlquist, Schradel. Big block is up. Lake Stevens keeps it alive. Jackson was celebrating. Paige Wilson high off the hands. Kendall Solis somehow gets her left arm wrapped around that. Rachel Erb pops that up. Here's Wilson again. Roll shot over the top. Haley Muir almost gets under it, but that one was a little too good. Lake Stevens defense almost got him one there as Jackson on that big block thought they had it. The cover was there, however. Here's Dollarhide again with the serve. Valentine, good pass from her. Carly Try hammers that off the block of Robinson and Johansson, and she hit that ball with some anger. I don't know who made Carly mad today, but that ball certainly got the brunt of it there. Grace Schradel serving for the Vikings. Runs up into the basketball hoop. Out of system set from Pistol. Wilson just punches it over. Valentine deals easily for the Vikings. Here's Solis through the block. Ainsley Johansson comes down on an ankle. That didn't look very good. And she's going to need a sub. Sometimes you just come down funny on the outside of that foot, and it's going to be Christina Johnson checking in to play some middle for Ainsley Johansson. She popped right up. It looked good when she came up, but then You could tell right away that as soon as she put weight on it, it just wasn't right. Hopefully that's just a little tweak, just a little roll in there. And sometimes you can even recover from those, get back in just a few minutes. Better to be safe.
If it happened to me, I wouldn't be back for a couple of weeks.
Oh, heck no. I'd take a vacation to Cancun at that point. Haley Muir swings for the Vikings. Pick up by Dollarhide off the block. Robinson quick in the middle for Christina Johnson. And so the senior right side, or senior usually right side, checks in for Jackson and immediately is hitting ones with her setter. They have a bit of a chuckle about that. Paige Wilson back to serve. It is set point here in set number 1 for the Lake Stevens Vikings, and that's going to do it as that ball is in. Karina Dahlquist with her second kill of set number 1, and the Vikings are up 1-0 here in Lake Stevens. We're going to take a little break on STSPN.com. We'll be back with set number 2 in about 2 minutes. Thanks for watching, everybody.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens, we'll help you find what you're looking for and offer friendly advice too. Owners Greg and Christine are all about serving their customers and their community. They support local high school sports and many other community organizations and events. So the next time you need help with your to-do list or project around the house, bring it to Ace. They'll greet you at the door and help you find whatever you need fast. Show your support for locally owned businesses. Shop Ace Hardware just off Highway 9 in Lake Stevens and Everett Greenway in Everett. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's. When you shop at Ace Hardware in Everett and Lake Stevens.
Welcome back inside Lake Stevens High School as we work through the...
Who have we given it to?
Well, so taking a look on the Lake Stevens side, I know Samaya Marin has been an Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Match this year. She's the one I know for sure. On the Jackson side, Haley Pistol was our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Match Tuesday night. So now it's all a matter of who's going to step up and earn the T-shirt tonight. Lake Stevens in set number 1 looked pretty strong there. A couple early votes for Carly Try, mostly just because she tried to pop the ball when she hit it off the block at one time.
Yeah.
Nice pickup there by the defense. Out of system set by Brooke Valentine. Kendall Solis with precision. Right into the corner. That is how you send a down ball. Follow through, fingers to target, and finish your swing, and it drops right on the end line. Karina Dahlquist, the senior setter, serving for Lake Stevens. She goes right after Paige Wilson. Out of the back row, here's Wilson in the pipe. We didn't see that in set number 1. Ava Doney goes up and takes alternative means to get that ball to the floor, pounding it off the tape and down.
Do you recognize any of these people?
Well, I recognize most of those people. Half of them are football players. I'm pretty sure they weren't volleyball players of the match. Served by Robinson right to Samaya Marin, the sophomore who checked in between set 1 and 2, and that's a big swing and a kill for the senior Haley Muir. Usually hits from the right pin, hitting from the left pin today. Grace Schradel comes into the front row, taking the place of Kendall Solis, and it looks like we're back to a more familiar lineup for Lake Stevens here. Paige Wilson out of the back row. Brooke Valentine lets that one go over her shoulder, and it's a few feet out of bounds. Haley Pistol, Robinson, big swing from Ava Doney, dug by Brooke Valentine. Nice dig by Paige Wilson on the swing by Eisminger. Oh, Christina Johnson goes up and hammers on that ball, but it comes back off the block of Schradel and Eisminger as they said, no thank you. Put that one back down on the Jackson side, and Samaya Marin, sophomore outside hitter for Lake Stevens, continues to serve. Robinson pushes this one outside for Johnson. It's popped up by Eisminger. Johnson digs it. Here's Lexi Dollarhide now. What a pickup. Full superwoman by Brooke Valentine. Muir hammers that one off a block. The Jackson fans don't think there was a touch. Paige Wilson with a beautiful dig off the swing from Schradel. Overfeed. Muir hammers it off the hands of Doney, and it drops, and Lake Stevens picking right up where they left off here at the end of set number 1. They're looking like they're just going to keep on rolling here in set number 2. Jackson still looking for an answer. Christina Johnson, roll shot into the hole, drops in front of Moran, and so a little change of pace from the senior. Taking a look over on the Jackson bench, Ainsley Johansson doesn't appear to have her ankle wrapped or iced. She's sitting there, looks like she could potentially be available. Obviously, these young athletes, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause permanent damage. And that ball is down, and Haley Pistol just stops and stares at it. That's twice she's been beat by a point-perfect shot to that deep corner. And, man, you got to give them something. And if they're going to hit the ball that precisely, that's what you're giving them. That's good on Lake Stevens there. Big swing from Christina Johnson. And so, good grief. So our up official was signaling point Lake Stevens. Grace Schradel saying I didn't touch it. Carly Tries saying I didn't touch it. The down ref says, yes, you touched it. The line judge says, no, there was no touch. We've whistled for the beck and a serve. Kyle Hoagland, the head coach of Lake Stevens, had a little something to say. Didn't get heard there. Here's Erin Ingram for Jackson. Nice job by Carly Try in the middle of the block. That recycled up over the top by Christina Johnson. Pick up Samaya Marin. Grace Schradel off the block. Another cover by Marin. Somehow they keep it alive. Valentine sends a free ball. Here's Ingram in the middle. Chops that one over the top. Another dig from Marin. This one's going back for Haley Muir. She tips it right to the waiting Paige Wilson. Here's Wilson with the big swing cross court. Marin can't deal with that one, and Paige Wilson starting to get a little life into her here in set number 2. Senior Ava Doney at the service line for Jackson. Marin pops this one up towards the end line. Out of system set Valentine. Down ball misfired on by Schradel, and Jackson not going to let Lake Stevens run away here in set 2. They brought the lunch boxes, the hard hats. They're going to work here in the Vikings gym. Samaya Marin, 10 feet off. It's Dahlquist. Tip over the top from Schradel, and Robinson goes with her right hand when her left probably would have got there in a little straighter line and popped that one up. It's down, a kill for Grace Schradel, and we go to a double sub now as we see some more sophomores coming in. It's going to be Tatum Smith, who I believe is going to play on the right side. Michelle Fast comes in to serve and set for Lake Stevens. Fast digs this ball right away. Out of system set Samaya Marin. Nice hands by her. Big swing from Schradel. And the line judge threw it down, and he threw it down quickly. He called it in. He called it in. The line judge called it in. The up ref overruled him but gave the ball to Lake Stevens, which is what it would have been if the ball was in. So he made very distinctly the signal, my call, as though he was overruling the line judge who called the ball in, but then he gave the ball to Lake Stevens. Maybe changed his mind and agreed with the line judge. Mindy Staudinger not particularly pleased. I personally thought the ball was out by quite a bit, but I don't have nearly as good an angle as anyone on the officiating crew. Now we're going to give the ball to Jackson. Christina Johnson's going to go back to serve. So indeed, he's changing his call so that it was out, not in, and that's going to be Jackson's ball. Deep float, just long. That ball looked dangerous. I thought the bottom might drop out of that. Kendall Solis checks back in as defensive specialist. She will serve and play some defense in place of Grace Schradel for the Vikings. Haley Pistol, Lydia Robinson. Attack out of the back row. Set didn't look very good, and then the attack looked a little worse as it goes into the bottom of the net, and Lake Stevens with the point. Solis right at Pistol again. Robinson runs this one down again out of the back row. This time just an easy down ball right at Valentine. Here's Carly Try, and that's denied by Erin Ingram. And so little wrinkle in what's happening here. Erin Ingram's checked in, and she's playing middle now. We've been seeing her play outside. She's playing middle in place of Johansson. And I believe Christina Johnson is your other outside. Paige Wilson at the service line now. Johnson's in the back row with her, so it's Lexi Dollarhide who's your other outside. There's her swing, just wide, no touch detected. So Jackson, with the injury to Johansson in set number 1, forced to do some different things with their lineup. It's not a bad look for them with the 6'1" Ingram in the middle. There's a big swing for her right through the block of Eisman, dug by Valentine. Schradel does a nice job of getting around inside the pin. Here's Dollarhide. That's picked up by Solis. Samaya Marin hammers that one down the line, well, into the seam. Christina Johnson was standing right on the line, which left a great big seam about 4 feet in bounds, and Samaya Marin goes up and just puts the ball right in that seam. Valentine to Wilson. Out of the back row, Paige Wilson, and that's blocked solo stuff from Maddie Eisminger. Just too predictable from Jackson. There was nothing else there that Lydia Robinson was going to do. You gotta make them believe something else is coming before you hit out of the back row. Going after Wilson again. I sense a theme here. Ingram taps that ball over the top. Net violation call. And so now we've got different hand signal. One hand signal, well, down ref called it both ways, but it's going to go to Jackson. So net violation against Lake Stevens. That'll bring Haley Pistol back to serve. Kendall Solis, perfect pass from her. Michelle Fast for Maddie Eisminger, who hammers it off the block of Ava Doney. So the middles for Lake Stevens tonight are unloading on the ball. I don't know if these girls had a bad day today, if they're just out there to prove a little something tonight, but Carly Try and Maddie Eisminger are hitting heavy, heavy balls tonight. Going to be tough for Jackson to contend with that. Here's the serve from Dahlquist. Perfect pass to Robinson. Roll shot over the top. Nice play from Lexi Dollarhide there. Was Wilson with the perfect pass that made it all possible. Lydia Robinson will go back to serve. She's been very good the matches we've seen for Jackson as a setter. Nice job moving her offense around. She goes right deep 6 after the libero Valentine. That's usually not your best serving choice. You try and stay away from the kid in the other colored jersey. Libero's your defensive specialist. Can be used without utilizing a substitution, and they are not allowed to play in the front row, so they're usually a pretty good passer defender. Dollarhide. Run down by Johnson. Down ball sent by Wilson. Dug by Dahlquist. Nice play by Wilson to get that on the setter. Schradel on the out-of-system block, and Lake Stevens almost keeps it alive. Johnson and Doney, the seniors for Jackson, putting up a big block over there on the right side. So should be a good rotation for Jackson as they've got Ava Doney in the middle, Christina Johnson on the right side, and Paige Wilson hitting left pin. Lexi Dollarhide at the service line. And Dahlquist can't get under that one, and so they're going after Grace Schradel now, at least Lexi Dollarhide is. This one down in front of Valentine. She pops it up at 10 feet, and again, Eisminger unloads and hammers that one off the block of Doney. Carly Try checks in, the other sophomore middle. Maddie Eisminger will serve. She goes to Lexi Dollarhide. Perfect pass from her, and Ava Doney with just a little touch play drops that right into the corner. They work once. It's usually a little too slow to work twice, but it was beautiful that time. Nice heads-up play by Doney. Doney goes with a shorty for an ace, so a pair of finesse plays from the Jackson middle. She goes back to Libero Valentine. This one pushed on tempo out to Schradel. Doney gets under it. Ingram pops it up. Dollarhide somehow sends a little down ball. Carly Try with the tip right to Christina Johnson. In the middle, it's Ingram over the top. Nice pickup by Muir. Here comes Schradel. Big swing across. Dug by Dollarhide. Kept alive by Muir. Dahlquist back for Schradel again. This time off the block. Picked up and back over by Marin. Dug by the setter Robinson. Out of system set from Dollarhide. Slapped over by Johnson. And Dahlquist can't get under it. What a rally on both sides there. Jackson, a lot of creativity in their offense right now. Carly Try tying the shoe. Slow things down. Got really quiet in here all of a sudden. Ava Doney at the service line. She goes with the shorty again. Samaya Marin steps in. Ball's 10 feet off. Schradel just pops that up. Here's Paige Wilson. That's off the block. Recycled by Doney. Outside for Wilson again. That one's off the block once more. Wilson covers her own that time. Johnson sends a free ball. Valentine. Dahlquist, quick behind her for Muir, dug by Doney. Here's outside for Wilson, and it's the roll shot into the middle, and she gets herself out of a tight spot there. Lake Stevens is going to call a timeout. That set was out of tempo, and Paige Wilson just went up and made a play. We'll go ahead and stay with you here for a couple minutes on STSPN.com as we have a really good second set going on. Some of the players of the game we're looking at here. Well, I don't know who that is. We roll through our adrenaline fundraising players of the match. You'll see some of the moments, the memories. One of my favorite parts about these is the interview at the end of the match. We get to talk to one of the athletes who really stood out for their team that night. Great opportunity for these kids to generally say some nice things about their teammates, about their coaches, share a little bit with the younger kids who might be watching on STSPN.com about what it takes to compete at this level. So a huge shout out to all these kids. Hey, there's Natalie Stern. She's sitting right in front of us tonight. Tons of Snohomish players here. Lots of alumni here. As I see Alexis Alverson, Lake Stevens, Melissa Stevens is here. Maddie Solis is here. Natasha Valentine is here. Those are just the ones I saw real quick. Grace Schradel goes up and puts a hammer on that ball. Christina Johnson sends a free ball. Lake Stevens reloads. Here's Haley Muir. That's off the block. Pick up by Try. Dahlquist bump set. Going to be sent over deep corner by Samaya Marin. Picked up by Doney. Here's Johnson through the block. Picked up by Dahlquist. Run down. Bump set from Valentine. Muir goes up. Oh, and Johnson, Lydia Robinson gets up and pops the ball up, but it's not controllable. Haley Muir gets the kill for that one on the Lake Stevens side, and a much-needed side out for the Vikings. So Adrenaline Fundraising makes a lot of these matches possible. It's our presenting partners like Speedway Chevrolet, Ace Hardware, Lake Stevens and Evergreen Way, Fred's Riverdown Ale House, McDaniel's Do-It Center. Make sure you're thanking these companies if you like this coverage. Paige Wilson with a big swing cross court. Samaya Marin can't handle that one. American Family Insurance, Sally Petty is another one. GNS Heating and Cooling. These are the companies that are making this possible. If you happen to be a small business owner and you want to be part of what's happening here at STSPN.com, get in touch with Todd, the producer. He is the man. He can help you out, and you can help be a part of putting a focus on the accomplishments of these student athletes. Paige Wilson, big swing over the top. Nice job by Valentine to pop it up. Michelle Fast lost track of where she was on the court there for a second. Couldn't quite get into the net to dig it out. And Johnson will go back to serve. Jackson has crept their way back into this one. Valentine, Fast. Here's Schradel. Oh, Haley Pistol. Free ball sent by Wilson. Now outside, here's Schradel again. Haley Pistol can't handle that one. Grace Schradel was a little too much for her the second time around. She'll check out of the match. Kendall Solis comes in to serve and play some defense. And the seniors, both these teams, Lake Stevens especially though, these girls are hitting the ball hard tonight. Really putting an emphasis on just bombs away. Paige Wilson. Back to the service line for Jackson. That brings Lexi Dollarhide to the front row along with Ingram, who's usually an outside hitter, playing middle right now to replace Leandra Johansson, and the setter Lydia Robinson. There's Samaya Marin dropping the hammer. Another big swing from the Lake Stevens side. Senior libero Brooke Valentine at the service line. Tickles that one off the tape. Good pass by Wilson. Here's Ingram. Nice pickup by Valentine. Ingram's just gonna, or Dollarhide's gonna pass that one. Robinson tries to dump it. That's a double contact against Lexi Dollarhide. Is legal if it's a block, not so legal if it's an attack. Brooke Valentine continues to serve for the Vikings. Christina Johnson with the pass. Out of the back row, Paige Wilson. Roll shot, too easy for Samaya Marin. Here's Maddie Eisminger off the block of Erin Ingram as she was up solo, and Eisminger just tooled her off the outside hand. Nice play by her. And that's going to bring a timeout from the Jackson Timberwolves. We're going to take a timeout as well here on STSPN.com. See you in 30 seconds.
Fred's Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Welcome back inside Lake Stevens High School. I'm Matty Bishop. This is STSPN.com. Brooke Valentine is at the service line for the Lake Stevens Vikings. We're in crunch time, set number 2. Free ball sent by Erin Ingram and her Jackson Timberwolves. Tatum Smith hammers the ball down the right side. That's a nice dig from Paige Wilson. Roll shot over the top. Lexi Dollarhide picked up by Samaya Marin. Wilson again gets the dig from Smith, and Dollarhide swings through this time. Picked up by Brooke Valentine. Jackson just having a hard time finding the offense. They just can't compete with the power that Lake Stevens is putting on display right now. And so they're trying to finesse the ball around a little bit. It's just not dropping against this Lake Stevens defense. And all of a sudden, Valentine serving. Lake Stevens in control here at the end of set number 2. Lexi Dollarhide trying to go down the line. You see the frustration as she just misses, trying to put a little something extra on that ball. sometimes you can turn those things around. You can move the ball around with tempo and find holes that way, but that's difficult when you're working through an injury and you have some players playing out of position. Aaron Ingram pounds that one off the antenna. The antenna is out of play. That's a point for Lake Stevens. So if the ball touches the antenna or any part of the ball travels above any part of the antenna, that ball is considered out. Brooke Valentine still at the service line. That's an ace against Paige Wilson. And just like that, it is set point for the Vikings here in set number 2 as they look to take a commanding 2-set-to-none lead.
And by the way, if your reception wasn't very good there for a second, that's because those antennas, we use those to send our signal.
And that ball off the block and down and in, and Lexi Dollarhide let it drop. And Lake Stevens gets set number 2. STSPN is wired into everywhere, Todd. We're in the volleyball antennas. We're all over the place. Right now we're right here at Lake Stevens High School, and we're going to be back for what promises to be a pretty exciting set number 3. See what the Jackson Timberwolves can come up with here. See if Lake Stevens can keep this rolling. Come back in 2 minutes here on STSPN.com.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Welcome back inside Lake Stevens High School. Lake Stevens wrestling banner says they're the home of the Berserkers. I think that's what the student body should call themselves, the Berserkers. Yeah, pretty nuts. These Lake Stevens Vikings, pretty good as well. Looking to go to state for the 3rd time in a row. It'll be a little different challenge this year as the district playoff includes 7 teams from Kingco 4A, 5 teams from Wesco 4A into the bracket that'll play off for, I believe, 4 spots to the state tournament. So a little extra work to be done this year in order to get to state. These Lake Stevens Vikings looked up for the task. At one point they were ranked number 2 in the Washington State coaches poll. Didn't see where they were this week. I would imagine it wasn't the number 2 spot after the 5-set loss to Monroe last week. Number 4 this week. That makes sense. Top 5 team. That's what the coaches say. They'll look to make some waves in state if they make it that far, as Wesco teams haven't put up the best performances as of late. Jackson High School, the one team that has a state championship from Wesco, and that was from, I believe, 2010, year that Emmy Allen was their outside hitter, big outside hitter, who's now, she's in Sweden playing professionally, just finished her last year of eligibility playing beach at Louisiana State University. But these Jackson Timberwolves are trying to get a handle on their serve receive against the Lake Stevens Vikings. It's sophomore outside hitter Samaya Marin at the service line. I don't see any big changes. Oh, geez, the dribbler again. Those are tough to pass. The dreaded dribbler. And oh yeah, like he's the Riddler's buddy, I'm pretty sure. Nice set from Robinson. Johnson puts that ball into the middle and it's judged to be down. No pancakes for you. Haley Pistol trying to get the energy of her team up. Jackson looking a little worn here in set number 3. They fought really hard in set number 2. Really workmanlike, nothing flashy, just dig, set, hit, repeat. Lake Stevens just a little bit more power than what Jackson has. There's Grace Stradle right to Haley Pistol. Nice dig by her. Erin Ingram in the middle, and she gets a little power going. She fires that one past the libero Valentine. So as she gets more comfortable in that middle spot for Jackson, we might see a little bit more dynamic movement from her. I'm going to guess that means we aren't going to see Ainsley Johansson again today. She went down with the twisted ankle in the first set. Maddie Eisminger drops the hammer again. She has been savage this match. She'll go back to serve. That brings Carly Try into the front row. Paige Wilson now for the Jackson Timberwolves. Jackson in a good spot to make districts. They'd like to finish in that number 2 spot if they can. Carly Try. And it's judged not to have touched the block. Double contact called. A little misfire by the Vikings there. Paige Wilson back to serve again for the Timberwolves. Match tonight to watch is Kamiak and Mount Vernon. Oh, Haley Pistol gets underneath that one. Nice pickup from Lexi Dollarhide. Rachel Erb sends the free ball over. Here's Haley Muir, and Paige Wilson can't handle that one as it's up into the rafters and comes down really fast. And again, the power of Lake Stevens just too much for the Timberwolves defense. Kamiak and Mount Vernon battling tonight. Those are the teams in the 5 and 6 spot in the rankings, and only the top 5 go. So interesting one there. Lake Stevens has Glacier Peak on Tuesday. Quick in the middle, and that's Carly Try. Michelle Fast is your setter for Lake Stevens right now, number 8, the sophomore. We didn't see her in the first set when the seniors took care of business, but sets 2 and 3, we've seen what looks a little bit more like like what we're used to seeing out of Lake Stevens. There's Paige Wilson out of the back row, right at the setter Fast. Out of system bump set from Brooke Valentine, just pushed over by Samaya Marin. Here's Lexi Dollarhide. She swings off the block. There had to have been a net there somewhere. And the whistle blows as it was, I believe, either Cornelius or Try. So we take a look, it's Chloe Cornelius, the one junior on this roster, who's checked in and playing a little bit of right side here. Haley Pistol, short serve, picked up by Samaya Marin. Cornelius, roll shot over the top, dug by Wilson. Robinson pushes this ball outside for Dollarhide, and she finds the end line. Lexi Dollarhide, nice shot by her. Good high point of contact, late wrist roll, and that ball drops right on the end line. Pistol continues to serve. This time she goes long, deep corner on Samaya Marin. And the gals I played with at Uprising Beach last week called that the yo-yo. Short, long, short, long, short, long. She was taught to serve like a yo-yo. Haley Pistol serving like a yo-yo as she goes short again. This time it's Valentine. Only real option is Schradel, and the block was all over that. Nice play by Lexi Dollarhide and Ava Doney. And so it's the serving of Haley Pistol, the senior libero for Jackson, causing some fits for Lake Stevens here in set number 3. And Valentine pops this one up. It's an out-of-system set out of the back row. Pistol with the dig right to Robinson. Doney a little early on it. Somehow Samaya Marin gets a hand to that. Schradel sends a down ball. Pistol picks it up. Here comes Lexi Dollarhide. She's 9 feet off, and that's a difficult swing at the best of times. And it is out of play as the officials take their time about it. But that ball was missed long. No touch detected. The line judges have been pretty good here tonight. Grace Schradel at the service line for Lake Stevens. She goes right after the libero Haley Pistol. Again, this set is off the net. Dollarhide this time rolls that ball right into the hole in the middle of court. Used to play for a team when I first moved to Seattle down in the Underdog Sports Leagues. The team was called Campfire Huddle, because when that ball drops right in the middle and everyone's huddled around looking at it, it's like sitting around a campfire, Todd. That was the name. That was our team name. Needless to say, that wasn't our best season. We lived out the Campfire Huddle moniker. Carly Try hammers the ball. She was one-on-one with Ava Doney, and she took full advantage of the matchup. Brooke Valentine back to serve. Try goes to the sideline, replaced by Maddie Eisminger in the front row. Dollarhide, bump set from Robinson, roll shot by Johnson. Here's Samaya Marin, hammers that off the block and out of play, and again, just too much power from these Lake Stevens hitters. The challenge as a blocker, you got to get your hands on that, penetrate across the net, get your hands on it, and angled down. Easy to say, difficult to do. Ava Doney, we've seen that one once already. Kendall Solis slides all the way under the net trying to make that dig, but it works for Ava again as that little touch shot right to the corner tee. It's a much-needed side out for the Jackson Timberwolves. Lexi Dollarhide at the service line. She goes short in front of Samaya Marin. Cornelius gets the kill, and that was funky looking all the way around, but Chloe Cornelius just said, you know what? Everybody else is hitting the ball hard. I'm going to hit the ball hard too. She had a little bit more than the Jackson defense could handle on that occasion. Checking back into the match is Karina Dahlquist and Haley Muir for Lake Stevens. Good pass. And again, Ava Doney, that time with her left hand to the other corner, as she is just carving up the front row defense of this Lake Stevens team. As Kyle Hoagland saying, get your hands over, push your hands over in front of that. Ava Doney to the back row now. She goes short in front of Valentine. Nice set for Eisminger. Dig by Doney, kept alive by Wilson. Free ball from Ingram. Solis, Dahlquist. Here's Samaya Marin, and Ava Doney can't handle that one. Samaya Marin just a little bit too much for her. She'll go back to the service line for Lake Stevens. Grace Schradel comes into the front row now. Perfect pass from Paige Wilson. She's going to get the swing off the hands, picked up by Marin. Haley Muir on the other side, and that's out of play, off the block and out of play. And again, Ingram's there. The timing is not bad, but her hands are in the wrong position, and she's getting tooled. Lake Stevens hits it hard enough that if your hands aren't perfect, it's going to go out of play. Samaya Marin continues to serve. Dollarhide sends a down ball. Perfect pass from Valentine. Quick in the middle. That's Eisminger. Dug up by Wilson off the block. Picked up by Marin after the swing by Wilson. Schradel blocked, and thought Valentine was going to pick that up. Grace Schradel blocked by Christina Johnson and Erin Ingram that time. So finally Jackson's block gets one, gets her hands in the right place. Comes Rachel Erb to check in for the Timberwolves. She's going to take the place of Christina Johnson, and she will serve and play defense. She's in the back row with Haley Pistol and Lexi Dollarhide The setter, Lydia Robinson, and Paige Wilson, along with Erin Ingram, are in the front row. That ball is just through the block of Robinson and Ingram, and Lake Stevens will take the matchup of whichever outside, whether it's Schradel or Marin, against Lydia Robinson all day long. She's just not quite big enough to block this Lake Stevens attack. Eisminger with the serve, quick behind to Ingram, picked up by Samaya Marin. She went down a little funky, but she's up and okay. Brooke Valentine checks back in. Paige Wilson back to serve for Jackson. Right back where we were in set number 2, even in the middle. I think we saw a 15-15 in set number 2. There's a perfect pass from Samaya Marin, and Grace Schradel just hammers that one. A tandem offense there from Lake Stevens as Try and Marin both running at tempo. Setter's choice usually where that ball goes. All about creating open space or one-on-one matchups. Michelle Fast in to serve for Lake Stevens now. Big swing from Lexi Dollarhide as she was 10.5 feet off the net, went up and just ripped one down the line, and that worked. Lexi just a junior. She'll be back for Jackson next year, as will their setter, Lydia Robinson. And their kills leader for this year, Paige Wilson. Grace Schradel back to serve for Lake Stevens now. Wilson. Here's Dollarhide again. This one right to Samaya Marin. Michelle Fast. Marin chops it off the block this time and down the line. And again, she has a good cross-court body position and just cuts it cross-body to take advantage of the matchup against the setter Robinson. Not a lot you can do. That's why you see most high school teams running a 6-2 unless they have a big setter. And Lydia Robinson goes up and takes matters into her own hands there. Nice setter dump from her. Carly Try got beat on that one. Her and Samaya Marin talking about what they saw and how they're going to play that next time. Meanwhile, Kendall Solis checks in to play some defense for Lake Stevens. Setter, Lydia Robinson at the service line for Jackson. She's right to the libero Valentine. Back set for Fast, and Chloe Cornelius put some thunder on that one. So we watched her hit a funky ball hard and score a point a minute ago. That one was point perfect, and she just unloaded. Brooke Valentine back at the service line for Lake Stevens. Dollarhide sends a free ball. Get your helmet on. Here's Samaya Marin. Nice pickup by Paige Wilson. Doney up to joust, and Samaya Marin goes up and just gets higher than Ava Doney did on that one. You don't want to give this Lake Stevens team a free ball. There's some things you just can't coach. You can't coach power. Nice serve from Brooke Valentine. Teach kids how to use it and when to use it. But man, it's difficult to develop, and once you have it, it's something that's very difficult to stop. Jackson's going to take a timeout, as are we, here in set number 3 on STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
We're back inside Lake Stevens High School. I'm Matty Bishop. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is STSPN.com. It's the Lake Stevens Vikings trying to close this one out in 3 sets here against the Jackson Timberwolves. Jackson trying to find an answer for the power of Lake Stevens. We've been invaded by Snohomish High School athletes. We mentioned that earlier. Lots of these girls play club together. Here's Haley Pistol out of the back roll. Funky little cut right at the setter from Pistol. Out of system set from Valentine. Cornelius over the top. Pistol digs this one. Here out of the back row is Paige Wilson with the roll shot. Pick up. Nice defense by Michelle Fast. Samaya Marin out of the back row. Picked up but not controlled by Lydia Robinson. So we're talking about it right before the break. Man, I mean, you can scout a team and you can say, gee, they hit the ball hard all over the floor, but what are you going to do? How are you going to adjust your defense to that? There's no real answer. You sit back and you dig, or you don't against a team that hits this hard. You have the blockers that can slow them down, or you don't. Lake Stevens, there's not a lot of teams in Wesco that can play with them. We saw one last week. It was Monroe. And they've got players who can put up a big block and who can get up and hammer the ball just as hard as Lake Stevens can. When they're on, we saw they can beat Lake Stevens.
And even then it went set 5, 15 to 11.
15-11, yep. Great pickup from Michelle Fast with the pancake there. Net violation call against the setter Robinson on Jackson as she tries to dig that one out. Glacier Peak, I think, has some of the big hammer that could deal with this. Carly Bond, Sydney Peterson, Natalie Ayot has a big arm swing. They've got a big block. Glacier Peak hasn't really, in the matches we've seen, been able to put together their passing or their ball control the same way Lake Stevens does. But there's a possible option there. Good matchup. Cornelius pounds that one off the block, and Chloe Cornelius has had herself a good set number 3 here. She's come in and made a huge impact for Lake Stevens. Valentine continues to serve. This one pops straight up. Out of system set by Dollarhide. Swing by Johnson, dug by Tatum Smith. Samaya Morin cross court. Nice pickup by Paige Wilson. Lydia Robinson runs that one down. Free ball sent by Christina Johnson. Dealt with by the libero Valentine. And another big swing for Maddie Eisminger. And it is match point just like that for these Lake Stevens Vikings. When they turn it on, it is really hard to stop. They've already claimed the top spot in Wesco 4A. They're looking to go through and just fine-tune as they get ready for playoffs to start at the end of next week. Johnson keeps this alive somehow. I thought maybe it was outside the antenna. The line judge didn't respond to that. Samaya Morin off the block. Fast, gonna set her again. This time it's off the block. Nice pickup by Lexi Dollarhide. Sent over, free ball from Wilson to Valentine to Fast. Out of the back row, it's Tatum Smith, the smallest player, I believe, on the floor right now for Lake Stevens. She packs a heavy arm. At the time, Samaya Morin just goes up and sends it straight down. And the Jackson team wants, I don't know if they're calling for 4 contacts or they're calling for the catch and throw, but it's not going to matter anyway. Lake Stevens claims this one in 3 sets, and it was a good 3 sets for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Jackson takes the loss tonight. They've got one more match before the end of the regular season and still some things to sort out in the standings for them. Lake Stevens knows they're the top dog. They know they're getting ready for districts coming out of Wesco, and we know that we're going to have the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Match for you coming up here in just a couple moments on STSPN.com. Stick with us, everybody.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Yeah, welcome back inside Lake Stevens High School. We're here with our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Match. It is the senior captain of the Lake Stevens Vikings. Right side, Haley Muir. Haley, congratulations.
Thank you.
You picked a heck of a way to celebrate senior night tonight. You guys were exceptional. We know that you've claimed the top spot in Wesco 4A, so you'll go into districts against Kinko next week. But I want to talk to you a little bit. One thing we noticed tonight, and I don't know if you guys have been practicing this or if it's just happening naturally, but were you guys mad? You guys hit the ball really hard. You looked really angry out there when you're hitting.
You know, we still have that Monroe loss stuck in our head. We feel like we have something to prove, and so we just went out there and we just wanted to smash the ball and make a statement.
Absolutely. It was a savage performance, and your seniors were huge. The entire first set, your seniors featured. It was beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about this senior class, what these girls mean to you.
Well, I mean, all the seniors have been here all the years, and I'm new from last year, and so they all took me in, and with having half the team being sophomores, we all knew that we had to step up. So even though we can only pick 2 captains, we all work as one big family and one captain, and so we all just try to help each other and really, you know, come together when things get hard and when things are great.
And you're a natural at segue, Haley, because my next question is about those sophomores. My gosh, you guys have some talent. Talk to me about playing defense against those girls in practice every day.
They don't make it easy, I will tell you that. But I'm gonna be honest, we were a little nervous having sophomores, but they came in ready to just pound the ball, and they are so competitive, and it makes practice just 10 times more fun.
Fantastic. So what's the, when you guys think about it, what's the key moving forward? What's the key to continued success and going step beyond through districts, through however far you guys get?
Really just staying at every point. It's something that we've been focusing on the entire season, is going all and cheering with so much passion and for each other, not just for yourself. And so really, I mean, you know, everyone says that family vibe, but we really emphasize on that every single game.
Fantastic job, Haley. You guys have done an amazing job at it. So, ladies and gentlemen, senior captain of the Lake Stevens Vikings, Ms. Haley Muir. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It was senior night here in Lake Stevens. The Vikings took care of the Jackson Timberwolves 3-0. They've got one more regular season match at Glacier Peak next week before they head off to districts. Good luck to you and the rest of your season, Haley. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been my pleasure to bring you this season of Wesco 4A volleyball. I'm Matty Bishop. I love doing this, guys. Thank you for watching. Tell a friend. Tell them how hard these athletes work. Tell them how much fun it is to watch athletes like Haley Muir go to work. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next year on STSPN.com.